Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. Hi, this is I am that dusky girl, and today we are going to talk about the books again because you guys loved my last video on the book recommendation. So the first book which I would like you guys to start with, if you are someone who wants to start with the Murakami, you should start with Norwegian Wood, because there are a lot of people who wants to who want to read Murakami, but they don't know from where to start. You should definitely start with Norwegian Wood, because this is the basic book. If you start reading Kafka on Shore and Men Without Women, those books are very difficult to understand without the basic idea about what kind of writer he is and what kind of content he writes. So it's better to start with the Norwegian Wood. This is the first book which I also read of Murakami, and the book talks about a man and his journey, not his journey, but him, his best friend, and the girlfriend of his best friend. The story revolves around these three people, and you know if you're someone who wants to know how to deal with the grief and how to you know uh, you don't know what you want to do in your life next, and you are stuck in the same loop, you need to read this book, because this book will guide you, not guide you, but it will obviously help you understand that at one point you will have to move on from the things which are bothering you and making you suffer. I'm not going to give you the spoiler because the book is really so great. It is one of my favorite book. You should start with this one. Now the second is also Murakami. It's Men Without Women. So it's a story about how men live without women, and how, like, for example, if you have a woman in your life, you should really appreciate her and be with her, because once she leaves you, you have nothing, and you will be not able to overcome that. If that woman loved you ever in your life and she is gone, you will never be able to overcome. So it contains short stories, like different 5 to 7 short stories about the men who are living without their women, and different kind of circumstances they are going with. Some of them got cheated, and some of them lost their wife, and some of them just fall in love with a prostitute and all this kind of stuff. So you should read this book, and this book is really good. You will understand how every person in your life is important. So this is the second book. There is another book of Murakami. I think I have given it to someone to read. It is Kafka on Shore. So Kafka on Shore is it is one of my favorite. It contains 600 pages or maybe 650, and it talks about a story of a boy, and he goes through different circumstances. And there is another story which is going on side by side, is of a man who is able to talk to cats, but no one else knows that he talks to the cat and everything, and he goes and find the cat and return it to their owner and everything. So the book is really great, and you should definitely you should definitely give it a read. And whenever you are reading Murakami, there is always going to be a cat in his book, and I love that about his writing. And if you are someone who really wants to go into Murakami, you should definitely start, because you are never going back from that. It is so good. Now the another book which I would like you guys to read is Pachinko. It is by Min Jin Lee, and it is I don't remember the year. It's a very old book, but it is really very good. It is a story of a woman, her whole life, like since the day she was born till the day he dies. It's that story and her struggle during the war and everything. And she has seen everything, अपने lost of her child, lost of her husband, lost of getting pregnant in early age, and lost of her family, lost of her mother and everything. So this book really, and how she managed all that, and how she struggled, and how she managed her expense and livelihood. This book is really good. It contains 650 pages, I think, or around, let me just check. It has around 550, not 600. It is 550 page book, and you should really give it a try. It's very good. It's very easy to read. Does not have any tough language or anything, but the book is really great. You should definitely, like, it is one of the book which is very close to my heart. How a woman survive, or face a lot of issues her whole life. So this books talk about that. Now the next book is Before the Coffee Gets Cold. So this book is basically about a cafe which takes you back to the time once in your life where you want to go. Like, for example, if you are in a cafe and your lover left you there, and you want to go back and talk to him or her, you can go back and do that, but you cannot change the past. And the person who you want to meet should be there in the cafe when you visited. Then only you can uh, go back and meet that particular person if he or she has visited the cafe. And the book, I did not like it that much. I give it 3 or 2.5 out of 5. The book is quite good, and if you're someone who really wants to understand that sometimes we feel that we should have said this instead of that, and if you want to feel like it is okay when, like, if you say something, it is okay to let go of it and not stay stuck to it, then you should really read this book. The last book I would like you guys to read is Mahagatha, and it has 100 tales, and from the Purans, and each and every tale is related to the other tale. Like, if the book is starting with how the earth was created and everything, then the next chapter is going to be related to that, and everything is related. And if you are into mythological things, you should obviously read this book. I am still in the middle of this book. I have not completed it yet. I am still in the middle. I think I have read around 200 pages or something, and the book contains let me just check, 500 pages. So I still have to read 300 pages, and you should definitely give it a read if you really want to get into the mythological things. The book is really good. And yeah, so that was all for this particular part. I have a lot more books which I have read and I want to discuss about it. So these are the books which we discussed today. And if I see, if I again see the great response in this video, I'm going to come up with another video in which I'm going to talk about the books I really loved reading. And yeah, so this is all the basics which I feel you guys should start reading if you really want to get into the reading. And I would say that reading a chapter or reading 10 pages in a day is really going to help you a lot. So kindly, even don't go ahead with my recommendations if you don't want, but do start reading a book in a day. Not a book, I mean start reading a book. So yeah, that was all about this particular video. See you next.